And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the land part of Collecting and Connecting, Good Vibes Community. I am Ethan Greenberg. Alongside of me is my co-host, Mike Rasinski, and also joining us, the one, the only Carter Rasinski. Carter, what's up, man? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good.
Are you? You fresh off vacation and spring break? You're ready to go. You're in the home stretch, right?
Yep.
Real nice, real nice. Mike, what is up? How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Doing good, yeah. Like Carter said, it was nice to have a week off. We did our biggest trip in a while to Hawaii last week. So luckily, no sunburn. That was the number one goal, and mission accomplished.
That's a beauty, man. Because I don't even know. Like the sunburn thing has managed to ruin a couple of trips for me. So yes, if you can accomplish that, that is a key between, I guess, no sunburn, no food poisoning, and making it there, traveling safely is the key. We got a question. Okay, Mike, over in what is the top? What is that you're wearing? Is it a Guardians or what is that, Carter?
Yeah, it's a Guardian shirt. It might look reversed.
No. I could read it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. It's like a nice alternate deal there. I like it.
They should do that for their uniforms. That'd be nice. That's a tie-dye.
It'd be pretty slick. It would definitely be a change. What do you think about the blue jerseys they wear?
The ones with just the block C in the corner?
Yeah, with the block C in the corner.
Yeah,
I want your impression on that, and I'll share mine, and then you can tell me if I'm off my rocker or not.
I don't like them. I like the script Guardians or the block Cleveland across the top. I don't like just the block C in the corner.
The block C, those jerseys make me think of spring training.
Yeah, they do. That's a good point. Yeah,
that's what they used to wear in spring training. So I'm like, oh, okay. Dull and boring. I bet you're gonna say. Well, Mike, you know me pretty well. It's that I'm pretty much like that. I mean, but that's my opinion. Is they look like the old spring training jerseys, and that's why I'm like, why are we wearing those?
The only thing worse. Do you remember when they had the cutoff sleeve jerseys?
Oh, those were
undershirts underneath them. Those were awful.
Yeah, the white with the blue. And I think that was like in the Travis Hafner days, right?
Yeah. And every team had a version of that too. And it didn't matter. It looked bad on every team.
I don't get it. I just don't get that. That's kind of crazy there. Yeah, I know. You guys are both wearing the right team. I'm not wearing the correct team today, but there was a strategic purpose for me to wear the brown stuff today. This is an older shirt, so it's a larger size. And as I was telling you, I had to go to physical therapy before this. Got to get work done on my neck. So it makes it easier when they're trying to stab me with needles and whatever it is, to have a looser fitting shirt on. So this just happened to be what I chose. But yes, you guys.
I thought you were gonna say it was a team that's so bad you don't mind if you had like holes poked in it as they're working on you or anything.
It might. I mean, that's another theory, and I think that's a good one. I think that is a good one.
At least they didn't lose today. The Browns did not lose today. That's a fact.
And I think Todd Monken, winner of the press conference yesterday, guy's brilliant. I love that guy.
You have to fill me in. What was yesterday's press?
Well,
conference?
they did. They're in the voluntary offseason program, and so they had media availability, and just the way he answered questions is so forthright, and it's refreshing because of what we've seen over the past 6 years under Kevin Stefanski and how buttoned up he is, and where he not only does he not want to throw people under the bus, but he's so cautious about it that it's annoying. Yeah. And you want some real emotion out of him, and you feel like Todd, he's going to give you that. He's going to, I don't know if he's going to last, how long he's going to last. Hopefully he lasts for a while, because if he does, that means the team's winning. So yeah, we will see. Yeah, he's pretty much, as Mike from the UK says, the opposite of Stefanski. He is a much more of an old school football guy. So definitely good stuff there. But talk to us about your, no sunburn on the vacation. Talk to some highlights. What's going on in Hawaii? How is I know we were talking before you went about like getting the poke bowls and so on and so forth. How is it? Talk to me, guys.
Yeah, so I'll lay out the overall trip. We had ChatGPT help us plan the itinerary, and I'd say he did a pretty good job. We did
Nice.
like an event a day and then plenty of beach time, but we did we surfing lessons, turtle snorkeling, we climbed Diamond Head, an old volcano. We rented a car and went up to the North Shore and saw some real surfers and ate some Matsumoto's shaved ice. And I think those were the big highlights. Carter, what was your favorite of all those things we did?
My favorite was probably surfing. I really like surfing.
Yeah, you were pretty good. He was incredible. I was not. I looked like an old man on a surfboard. And then like him and his brother just like popped up like that and rode the wave all the way in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, they're good at it. Yeah, maybe one day you can move out to Hawaii, be a surf bum, and then that'll give me a reason to come visit more often.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable thing to do. It seems like a reasonable thing to
Yeah.
do. But the weather cooperated. Was it?
Weather was good, no big floods. I would say I didn't get sunburned. Carter, how did you fare in that
I got
department?
sunburn like really bad on my legs and on my back.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet you based upon what I know about you, Carter, you probably said, no, 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 I'm good. I'm good. I won't get sunburned. I bet you, Dad, I won't get sunburned. Let me see how I can stand on the metro and not.
Yeah. They blame me for the back sunburn though. Apparently I was responsible for putting the sunscreen on the back.
Oh, I I don't apply sunscreen well for myself. But two is that I've had there's another time and another place to share the story of the sunscreen application experience I once had in the Grand Cayman Island, and it's one that I'll never forget. Let me just say that, and it ain't a good thing. But that's
I think you've come too far. I want to know what happens now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'll leave it to our imaginations.
bingo. I think that's good. Leave them coming back for more here. Coming back
That's
for
right.
more. So are you guys in the full swing of baseball season yet?
Yeah, well, Carter, you're doing no baseball for him. He's aged out. So
Wow.
flag football for him. His middle brother, Alex, is he's still doing baseball though.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
ready. And we've been watching the guards games. Yep. Been
The
excited
guard,
about that.
the guards have been fantastic, and I think that um, with that's a great segue. Let's talk a little. Why don't we talk a little guards ball? Because this has been a pretty good start. I mean, 8-5, and our 4 series so far, just incredible. Is that? Oh, well, look at this. Wait a second, Mike. His trip to Malta over 115 degrees for the not. Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no. Yes, yes, there it is. The Guardians did not get swept by the Twins like the Tigers did. But yeah, 8-5 through 4 series. Look at who the gauntlet we've gone through. Seattle, the Dodgers, the Cubs, all the Cubs were in the playoffs last year. Like
They were in the playoffs. Yep.
all the World Series champions, the AL runner-up, and another playoff team in the Cubs. The Royals, they had a disappointing year last year, but they had a lot
They
of injuries and just never got it
they had a
going.
winning record last year too.
That's crazy. I remember when we started the season last year and we were talking about like just the AL Central and everything like that, and then it ended up just being the Guards and the Tigers. But yeah, amazing that Kansas City also ended up with a winning record, and they've got a very good young nucleus as well. So for the Guardians to come out of those 4 series 8-5, and they won 3 of those series and split the series with Seattle. I'm impressed. I mean, what do you guys think? What's your early impression of the Guardians so far? I mean, Carter, have you been watching a lot of it with your dad?
Yeah,
What do you think about their performance so far?
I think they've been doing really well. Like more than the games, they've done way better than the games. Like they've done better than they have done worse in more of the games. Like
Well,
like a lot.
yeah, absolutely. No, they've certainly found ways to win. I mean, Mike, what do you think?
I think what's really impressive is they start out the season on the road and not just like hey, East Coast, Baltimore, or something road trip, like West Coast, which is the hardest, to adjust for an East Coast team or, Mid East team here. So they go to the West Coast, play two very good teams. They until yesterday, they were the only team to beat the Dodgers, who I think now sit at 9-3. No other teams beaten them. And then to come back and win the two series against the Cubs and Royals, like very impressive. And they've been doing it just like last year with pitching, with some young pitchers too, which is great to see. And because what encourages me is hitting usually comes later in the year when the weather warms up. So if you have the
Right.
pitching going now and you can hopefully count on the bats coming alive a little bit more, as the weather warms up, I think that's an encouraging sign too.
It definitely is. I mean, so first of all, I guess we could talk a little bit, we're talking generally, but yesterday we really have to point out and thank Jose Ramirez. He really hit one on the head. He literally put the knockout blow to Reagan's.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was unfortunate for him because he was dealing. He was dealing. He gets, that line drive shot. What was the exit velo on that one? Is what I wanted to know. I mean, he gets hit on the hand, and they said it was like a thumb like contusion, but he stayed in for two more batters. He walked Fry and then gave up a 2-run. I believe that was when he gave up the 2-run double to DeLauder. I
Yeah.
mean, that was kind of a great, a fortunate break, a very fortunate break for the Guardians early on, and they just cruised from there. They really did. It was a good one. And Cantillo, he had another nice start. Didn't quite make the 6 innings, but it was really, really impressive.
And then Rhys Hoskins, 3 doubles in a row. I mean, nice right-handed power bat finally.
Right. And I mean, and you're talking about a guy like, so you got Hoskins, was a really great pickup. Now look at this, 9 straight games that our starting pitchers have given up less than 2 earned runs, because Cantillo, there were 2 runs, but one of them was unearned. And as well, I mean, look at Angel Martinez. He blows it open with a grand slam in the 8th, but he had 4 hits. He had 4 hits yesterday. I mean, that's fantastic. And obviously the elephant in the room, which we haven't really mentioned, is, Quan finally looking like his old self as well. And then Chase DeLauder. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. When was the last player that we saw come up for the Guardians that has had an immediate impact like this? Does he remind you of anybody in our past that was a good slugging outfielder?
Well, I'll tell you, initially, what he reminded me of was Stephen Kwan when he came up. Because, DeLauder has this unbelievable debut where he hits, was it like 4 home runs in his first 3 games or something? Like his first at bat was a home run, then he homered again, later that same game. Do you remember when Stephen Kwan came up and he hit safely in some record-setting number of games or number of at-bats?
Yes.
I think it was reached base safely in like 15 straight plate appearances. There's some ridiculous stat that he set, at first being called up. And I'm like, this is just like Quan. He's just setting incredible numbers, different type, like power numbers, not Quan's was on base. But I'm like, and you saw how Quan parlayed that into a great season, and I think probably having the confidence that gives you when you start off like that. So seeing DeLauder do that too, and probably the confidence he has now, saying like, yeah, I can do this, is great. So that was the immediate thing that it reminded me of. And then I started to think about, yeah, you're right. Like what power, when's the last time we had a power hitting outfielder? We've had some since the Glory 90 days, but my mind goes back to those Glory 90 days. Is this like a Jim Thome type? Because Thome
was in the infield because he was playing first base. He was playing, and didn't he play third for a time?
He was third base until we got Matt Williams, and then they switched him to first. But he reminds me of a Thome because although he is like the quintessential home run hitter and he, had the longevity, when he first came up, he was like 20 homers a year type of guy.
Right. He was small. He was a lot smaller than he was by the end of his career. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't quite have that swing like Man Ram. And he's not a huge guy like Albert Bell. So I don't know it, but he's got a very good swing. He's got a very good swing. Now, this is a good question from Mike. And I mean, I don't know. What do do you like him better in the two hole or the 5?
What do you think, Carter? For a power hitter who's not going to be your cleanup hitter, would you like him batting 2nd or 5th?
He's speechless.
Did you get Carter?
He's muted. He's muted.
Okay. 5th. So DeLauder should, our power hitting outfielder, should he hit number 2 or number 5? Because we already got Juan number 1. We got
you think 3. You want him back 5, so he can come up right after Kyle Manzardo strikes out.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, I think you put him in the 4 hole. I wouldn't do it right now as this young rookie. I like 2 better because he has more at bats, more chances for an at bat at 2.
Yeah. This is a great. Can we all agree this is a great problem to have? We are not tearing the cover off the ball by any means, but this is a great problem to have where we are talking about like, oh, well, is it better to have him in this spot in the lineup or that spot in the lineup? Oh, we could place him all over the place. That's amazing. That's really a fantastic issue to have. Another surprise so far, Austin Hedges.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Batting 400, I believe.
Yeah, he's having a great start. And I mean, who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? I really I'm absolutely ecstatic when he's behind the plate and in the lineup rather than Bo. I mean, I feel he's not only a better defensive catcher, he does a better job calling a game for the pitchers. And now if he can actually hit, he can't be, he was awful last year and he was about the same as Bo Naylor. So I really don't think we lost anything there. What do you think the leash is on Bo Naylor? How long are they going to put up with him?
It depends on what our better alternative is right now, because I don't know if we have anybody in the minors really.
Cooper Engel. Engel is about the best. The next guy that would come up from AAA is Cooper Engel, and I'd have to look at his stats, but at some point he may need a trip to the minors. I believe he's got options left. Send him down. Look what we did to Rocchio last year. We sent him.
Yeah.
Sent him down, and he got himself kind of right. By the time he came back up and it got to the playoffs, he was starting to come around and come into form, and he's been a lot better so far this season as well. So my thought is if something's going on with Bo's swing and he's just not getting it, get him down there and let him work on some things. I don't know. He's a liability right now, and that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hopefully, hopefully once the weather warms up too, start going better for him. But who is it? Like Carlos Santana was just a notoriously bad April hitter, and he'd always pick it up. You can't say the same for Naylor. He doesn't have the track record, but
no, definitely. And then that's an idea there. I heard Andre Knott talking about Kyle Manzardo. He was on ESPN Cleveland, and he kind of. It seemed like he wasn't warm to the idea about that people talking about send him down, do this, do that. He feels like that's not the right thing to do or the right move. I just don't know what's going on. His swing is not there.
And it wasn't there in spring training either.
No, whatever it was that he was doing last year, he has just been unable to find it so far this season. And I don't know what you do with him. Did Gabby Arias's hamstring injury potentially put him in a bit of a predicament when he gets healthy?
Yeah. So Well, you see Juan Brito come up and 4 hits in his first 2 games, I believe.
Yep, he's hitting 500. I
Yeah.
believe he's 4 for 8.
And he was probably due to come up at some point anytime this
Yes.
year. He was ready. More ready than Bazana, who
Right.
I don't know if we'll see maybe later this year, but this could be a good problem where Brito, they've been talking about him for a while, even
Yes.
above. So if he can establish himself at second base as a more offensively gifted second baseman, then you got to choose who plays shortstop once he comes back, between Rocchio and Arias.
Yeah.
So I think one of those guys will not make it through. I think if Brito is as good as they say he is.
It's got, he's got, I mean, certainly it's hard to keep things, it's easy when you come up in theory because pitchers don't know you. They don't know your preferences and your strengths and weaknesses as much as they know all the other guys in the lineup. So maybe you take advantage of that a little bit. I'm looking here at Columbus, guys, and this Logan Allen. What is he doing out there? It doesn't look like he's having a great one today. The Clippers are down 3-0 thus far. Is he ever going to get right?
Yeah, because he really struggled in the spring training, and you're saying he's not doing good now in AAA, really? That's not encouraging.
Yeah, they are losing right now 3-0 to, I guess it's the Red Sox affiliate. I guess it's Worcester. Must be Worcester, Mass. They are down 3-0, bottom of the 5th. And I'm just looking to see what his pitching line is right now. I just happened to notice that because I was going to look for Bazana. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. So not bad. I mean, a pretty decent stat line in terms of the walk to strikeout ratio, but the 3 walks not great. What do you think about Parker Messick? And again, you talked about the pitching and how well he's stepped up all of a sudden, and he's become pretty darn reliable in the rotation.
Yeah, great starts for him. He was one of the pitchers that beat the Dodgers, I believe, too.
Yes.
I mean,
he had a masterpiece, and he got 10 strikeouts in that. Did he have the 10 strikeouts in the game, or was that Gavin?
I'm not sure, but either way, like beating the Dodgers in that lineup, that is great. Like it's because we saw a little bit of him last year, but I think this is considered his rookie season, I believe.
So.
Yeah, so I wonder how much help him having the experience last year is helping him this year too, where he's not coming up truly as a rookie. But that's been great to see.
Right. Okay. So just to give you an idea as we're looking at this, and we can kind of talk a little bit about in general where the Guardians are in the AL so far. But looking at the Clippers, let's see. Nolan Jones batting .313.
Oh.
Don't let him fool you. Stuart Fairchild, he is hitting .389. Now, Cooper Engel, 9 games played, 19 at bats, 7 hits, 7 runs, 1 triple. I'm sorry. I'm reading so he does 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, 12 walks, only 6 strikeouts, hitting .368. I like that. George Valera in 5 games, and we're waiting for him to, come back from injury, hitting .364. 22 at bats, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 double, 1 long ball, 9 runs batted in, 3 walks, only 1 strikeout. Those are probably your best players right now. And prior to that, obviously, Juan Brito was hitting .314. And just for reference, Travis Bazana is hitting just .209. In 43 at bats, he's got 9 hits, 7 runs, scored 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 runs batted in, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, and 1 caught stealing. So I think he's got some work to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's still young. I know people, they see like what Kurtz did with the A's last year. People want him to come up and just be amazing. That was abnormal. He still needs some more time in the minors, which is normal. Like, give him another full year in AAA.
It would be, I think everyone is really itching to have him up, but the best case scenario is if the other guys are playing so well they can't bring him up. But look at what Griffin is doing in Pittsburgh. Like, did you see that?
I haven't even seen his stats. Yeah. Well, no, what's his?
I mean, they brought him up, and he's a 19-year-old. They bring him up. They gave him this huge contract, basically to lock him up for a long time, and all of it comes right out. He's getting hits. I don't know what his stats are, but he made an immediate impact.
Yeah. And the Pirates are winning. They're 7-5 right now.
All right. Hey, they might not lose 100 games. No. But yeah, good question. I wonder how much having Kluber on the coaching staff is helping the rotation. I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
Definitely can't hurt. Oh, wait. Don't look at Nolan Jones. He's playing too good down there. We need to find him a league in between AAA and the majors. And actually, that's funny. So that, Mike in the UK with a comment there, the guys who I do the baseball podcast with, Nate and Taven, they called him a quadruple A guy. So it's
quadruple A guy.
Yeah, it's like they're not quite major league, but they're a little bit better than AAA, quadruple A. So I think that's that's where it is. So far this season, as we look at the standings in the MLB, the Guardians sit at 8-5. They are one game ahead of the Twins. The Twins just finished a sweep of the Tigers. The Tigers are actually in last place in the division, 4-9 thus far. I'm not. It's way too early in 162 games, but that's surprising that they're starting off so poor.
Maybe they want to set a new record of games behind that they can come back to erase their old record, set last year when they coughed it up.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a question for you. Okay, so I'll ask this question here, Carter. I know it's a school night and everything like that. Jose Ramirez set the mark for career games in franchise history. He reached on Monday night. He reached 1,620 career games. Just how fortunate have we been to be able to watch his development? For us, obviously, we've seen a number of players. I mean, Carter, what have you kind of enjoyed about watching Jose Ramirez? I know it may not get to see it all the time, but just for someone of your age, he's probably the best Guardian you've seen.
Yeah, he's like really good. He's like one of our like what's the word? Like compound players. He's like one of our
cornerstone.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. No, I mean, you're going to remember him for a long time. For as long as you're watching Guardians baseball, you're going to say, man, do you remember that Jose Ramirez, always hustling and just incredible kind of thing. But yeah, good stuff there. Carter, I know you've got some work to do, so I will let you depart. Appreciate you joining us as always, sir. And you go and you have a good evening and take care, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Thank
you, sir.
One other thing notice about the standings too. Look at the run differential. How many teams in the AL have a positive run differential?
Yeah.
I believe it's 5 out of the 15. And until yesterday, the Guards didn't have a positive run differential. It's just, they scored 10 and it put them over the top barely, which is kind of surprising. Even these teams with winning records are kind of, they're barely doing it, except for the National League. I think they have 8.
Yeah, the Yankees to be plus 25 runs. Did it knock your sound out? If it did, yep. All right, StreamYard stinks, guys. I'm just going to tell it. I think that's going to be the Going nuCLEar segment, is we are going to talk about StreamYard and its terribleness and what has happened to it. So if anyone from StreamYard is watching, they can they can certainly feel free to get their stuff right, because the fact that someone goes off the stage and then comes back on, hey, Mike, how you doing?
Sorry if I was talking over you. I couldn't hear you there for a sec.
No, you didn't talk over me at all. I was just sitting there. I think I figured out what my Going nuCLEar is going to be. I had others.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, the Yankees plus 25 is crazy. I mean, but or not really. I mean, you kind of know what they are offensively.
Yeah.
And as you said, the National League, certainly they are. They've got a lot more teams. Miami, obviously, they got off to a bit of a quick start. bit of a quick start there and started off kind of hot. They are 8-5. They've won a couple in a row. The Guards go to Atlanta next.
Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting starting tomorrow.
That'll be a real good series. What do you think of the ABS so far?
So I love it. I am so frustrated that they don't use it for every pitch. That's my only complaint.
I think it's only a matter of time. Give it some time, because how many those umps look stupid sometimes. But also, and look at that. That's interesting. The Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, 1 home run, 21 strikeouts for a guy who hit 60 last year.
Yeah. We'll see if he can figure it out.
But it'll definitely be interesting to see if he figures that out. In the Yankees, how do they have the best starting pitching ERA? Only above the Yankees. All right, whatever. I'll wait for that to go down in flames in that playground of a stadium, their little league ballpark.
Right.
You know, with ridiculous fences. But yeah, the ABS has been fantastic. And when you watch those replays and they show that literally, I didn't necessarily even realize that literally only the slightest piece of the ball even needs to touch the strike zone for it to be considered a strike.
Yeah. And isn't it amazing how fast they can get that too? And if you can get it that fast, just chirp it in the ump's ear and he can call ball or strike, you know? Like, why?
Yeah.
It's dumb that they're not doing it for every pitch. It's absolutely stupid.
Right, because players are having to make tough decisions sometimes. They talked about this on the radio earlier today. Austin Hedges earlier in the game, there was a pitch. It was pretty clear it should have been a ball, but he didn't challenge it. And maybe you don't challenge it because, one, he's the catcher, and two, you don't want to completely call out the ump that early.
Right. Yeah.
There's a little bit of strategy that has to go along with it, certainly, but it's great and frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to put the players in that position to have to think about, oh, do I want to get the ump on my side or not? Or am I going to cost my team a challenge because we only get two wrong ones? Or it's dumb to add that element to the game when you shouldn't have to.
Exactly. So Guardians off to a good start. They head down to Atlanta to take on the Braves, and hopefully they will be able to continue their winning ways. Hopefully, I guess Tanner Bobby is all right and will be back out there. And hopefully, because he had that inflammation in that first, I believe it was in the first start, if I recall correctly. So I'm assuming he's fine. Other than the fact that he keeps giving up home runs and Gavin Williams keeps walking guys. Other than that, we're great. And just think, we don't even have Gaddis back yet, and we don't have Andrew Walters back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be positive about for the old Guardians. Unfortunately, they leave town, and then the weather is going to get better in Northeast Ohio.
You're good. Yeah. Of course. Oh,
Absolutely.
by the way, Connor Griffin from the Pirates is only hitting 167.
All right, great.
Hey, he's making $100 million. Yeah.
Okay, he's just a little under the Mendoza line. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you like to be named? It's like, it's a little under the Greenberg line. Hitting below the Greenberg line, I think they should have, for free guys in the NBA who shoot free throws poorly, should be like, oh, he's shooting below the Shaq line.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, right below the old Shaq line there. And that's an interesting question. And this is a perfect segue. Mike from the UK, I wonder if the Cavs and Guardians will be staying in the same hotel out in Atlanta again, like they did in LA. That's kind of crazy that their road trips ended up being in the same locale. Obviously, the Cavs will not be there for very long. The Cavs are in Atlanta tomorrow night to once again take on the Hawks. Last night, big victory over the Hawks. It was about as healthy as of a lineup as they have had. Only really minus Jalen Tyson and Tyrese Proctor and Thomas Bryant. I should mention him as well. But you had Mitchell Harden, Allen Mobley, Strus, Merrill,
Wade
was
back.
Yeah, Wade was back. It was incredible. I mean, I guess, did you have any specific takeaways from last night's game and what you think it means in the grand scheme of things if they do in fact end up playing Atlanta in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, so I didn't get to watch last night's game. But after reading about it and seeing the highlights, it was the start they got off to was great. Disappointing to see them, kind of be really close to give it up in the fourth quarter. They seemed like they couldn't close it out, even with the big lead. That hasn't really been their MO. They've been the team to actually come back in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But, maybe they're still trying to figure things out. That's fine. But, the main thing was they got the win.
Right. I mean, last night, they didn't have much to play for because they are locked into the 4 seed. They are locked in, or they can't get any worse than the 4 seed.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's what I should have said. And Atlanta is still fighting because they are trying to potentially get up to stay in the 5 seed. And right now, going into tonight's action, they are half a game ahead of Toronto, but Toronto does hold the season series and the tiebreaker with Atlanta. They've got a bit of a difficult schedule because they're playing a tough Miami team still. They've got a matchup with the Knicks, and then they've got a game against the Nets. So Toronto, though, now is in the driver's seat because if they win out, they hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta, and they would be the 5 seed. We have not fared well against them, although we played them much earlier in the season. This is a good stat. Ended that game without a field goal in the last 7+ minutes. That's insane.
Yeah, that is. And they still won, which is great, but that's still not a good trend at all.
No, it's not. My issue was that we did build that lead. We kicked their butts. We outscored them 44-20 in the third quarter, and we're cruising. And that's the problem. They put it in cruise control and acted as if the other team wasn't going to try and fight back. You can see it happening. And as you said, the Cavs are normally the team making the comeback. And that's just infuriating. Absolutely.
It really is.
I don't know, what the issue is as to why they can't maintain that high level throughout the game once they get that lead. What's the mentality? I'd love to talk to a sports psychologist.
Yeah. And it isn't just the Cavs either. You see that a lot of times where a team will give up a huge lead, and games end up being close, even if they're blowouts for most of the game. What was the stat there? I think they were showing during the Grizzlies game that the Cavs were the second best team at coming back from a double-digit deficit, I think, this season, which is good. And they've only lost one game when they've been leading entering the fourth too. So those are good. Just trending in the right direction. Those are good stats.
They are. This season has been so tough to judge with the way that they've changed the roster, the fact that they've had so many injuries from the get-go. And no, I have not locked Mobley in the gym yet to knock down 50 straight free throws. But somebody needs to.
And what about the giving up the 3-pointers? I mean, going back to that Memphis game where they let Memphis tie the record for the most 3-pointers in the game. They still lost, which is amazing. But
it's not because they're tanking. Memphis is tanking.
Yeah.
I mean, the game a couple weeks ago or whenever it was, they were playing Utah. Utah pulled the players that were making all the shots so that they'd lose.
Yep.
I mean, it's and you know what it's going to be like. It's going to be a battle of some ridiculousness when the Cavs play the Wizards on Sunday. You know the Cavs aren't going to play anybody.
And neither are the Wizards.
Well, I heard
they don't have anybody to play anyways.
Not really. And how much of the Atlanta turnaround is kind of an indictment on Trae Young?
That's a great question because it looked like Atlanta was just giving up, and all of a sudden they go on that run to climb all the way up to the number 5 seed. So Yeah, and now why is he even shut down in Washington now? I mean, that's
Washington just made some mind-boggling moves. You
yeah.
bring in an injured Trae Young and an oft-injured Anthony Davis.
And now you're
Are you?
saving them for next year, I guess. Like, I don't know.
It's completely ridiculous what they've done. I don't know what the issue is in Washington. I see the Wizards and their lack of success and constant turnover, and I liken that to our beloved Browns and their inability to get it right. Even when you have the high draft pick, you get the wrong guy, or you don't have the first pick, but you got the second pick, and you still manage to pick the wrong guy. It feels
Yeah.
it's deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
Right now, the Cavs are sitting in the 4th seed, and I am doubtful as to whether they're going to jump New York, because they have to not only tie them, they have to overcome them. They have to finish ahead of them because New York owns the tiebreaker. So let's assume we're the 4th seed. Do you have any preference, or do you think we match up better against one team over another? I'm thinking in all likelihood it's either going to be Toronto or it's going to be Atlanta. Do you think it matters in terms of just a matchup? It seemed like yesterday Atlanta had no rim protection whatsoever.
Yeah. And then if you look at Toronto too, I know it's been a weird year playing Toronto, but last year we actually crushed Toronto, and we pretty much have this, a very similar team to last year too. So I would think that we would actually do a lot better with them, come playoff time. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if one's better than the other at this point.
If we don't defend the 3, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think is okay? I came up with 3 big problems that I see with this team.
Okay.
And I'd like to rank them here. So the 3 things that I saw are 3-point defense, rebounding,
Mm-hmm.
and just mental fortitude.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest? You can even throw in free throw shooting in there. So I maybe 4 things. What do you think what is the biggest problem or thing that's going to be the undoing of this team in the playoffs?
I think it's the 3-point shooting, and I'll go one further and just say the defense. Because too often they are step slow, or
Yes.
and it shows itself in the 3-point shooting, but also in some of the easy buckets the teams are getting. And last year we were able to outscore our opponents, at least in the regular season, and then the playoffs started, and that did not work. And I'm afraid that we're going to have that same mentality where we think we can outscore them. We're not going to be a great defensive team, and that doesn't work in the playoffs, especially with how the refs call the game in the playoffs too, because it's completely different than how they call it in the regular season, which is very frustrating.
It's absolutely frustrating. Look, either you're going to call the game loose in the regular season and keep calling it loose in the playoffs, and you're going to let fouls go, or you're going to call it tight. Whichever it is, make up your mind.
Yeah.
It's not right that you should suddenly decide, I'm going to swallow the whistle. Why don't you swallow the whistle all season long?
Right, because that changes how you game plan.
If it wasn't a foul in the regular season, or it was a foul in the regular season, why isn't it a foul in the playoffs? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Totally agree. Yep.
So I think that I'm going to agree with you. I think the 3-point defense, and sometimes the just lackadaisicalness. Is lackadaisicalness a word? I can't come up with it.
It can be.
I'll make up that word. It's
sure.
But they're very lackadaisical, and they don't get back on defense. And the other teams, we saw that earlier this season. They figured out run on this team, and every time we'd make a basket, they'd sprint down to the other end, and we're just standing there looking around as they're laying the ball up.
Yeah, and that's what killed us against Indiana last year too.
Oh, it was brutal. Absolutely brutal. How do you think James Harden he has historically not been great in the playoffs, but he brings a lot of experience. How can he help this team as we enter the NBA playoffs?
Yeah, I think, well, and also his supporting cast too. I know he's been a part of different super teams, throughout his career too. But I think coming to a team, maybe it'll help him in the middle of the season that already had like an established core, and he doesn't have to carry as much of the burden. That will help, and then he can, really parlay that experience he's had to the rest of the. And the rest of this team has a lot of playoff experience too. We've been, we haven't made it past the second round, but they have a lot of playoff games under their belt.
They really do. They absolutely do. Let me ask you this. Would it be worse? Let's say the Cavs stay in the 4 position, which it appears they will. Would it be worse if the Cavs were the 4 seed, lost in the first round, or they advance to the second round to take on JB Bickerstaff and the Pistons and lose to JB? Which is worse?
Oh man, that's a tough question. Because like losing to JB, that's gonna hurt the heart right there. But like losing in the first round with this team after you already know that like you can't get out of the second round and now you've just taken a step back. I mean, what do you do at that point? So
right,
man.
That's a terrible situation to be in. And if you
Yeah.
lose to JB, then you've got a bunch of naysayers who are going to come out of the woodwork and tell you how we told you it wasn't the coach.
Yeah.
Although I think 2 things can be true, as not my line, but 2 things can be true at the same time, in that I think that JB wasn't getting as much out of these players as Kenny is able to extract from them offensively, and they weren't listening anymore. But at the same time, he is a good coach. So I think there's more to it. It's not as simple as you stink and we got rid of you. It was, we can't get any further with you because the message is being lost on these players, and it's easier to get rid of the coach than the players.
What if you lose in the finals to Mike Brown and the Knicks? Another
In the conference finals?
Yeah.
Nah, Mike Brown can't coach his way out of a paper bag.
So would that hurt even more if we'd then lost to him?
No, he's far enough removed that I don't connect him with this group, because he was the LeBron guy.
Yeah.
You could connect him back then, and he was coaching when they went to their first ever NBA Finals, as LeBron was dragging Boobie Gibson and company, and Drew Gooden all the way to the finals. That's just an amazing feat. So for anyone who ever has a question about LeBron, I look at that and I say, man, that was incredible to carry that team the way he did.
Oh yeah.
It was just absolutely unreal. I remember those games were crazy. Yes, there it is. Eric Snow, Canton's own.
That's right.
Bulldog. That's right. Wow, crazy. So Cavs got a couple more games left. Not starting yet. We'll move on here just real quick. Not much going on. The Browns offseason program begin the voluntary. That's the key, Mike. Voluntary. So you do not have to be there, but it might look good if you are there. For example, the Ravens have a new coach in Jesse Minter. Lamar Jackson showed up. The Browns have a new coach in Todd Monken. Their best player, Myles Garrett, who doesn't need to be there, did not show up. Now, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it from the perspective of he's not going to be ready for the season. But do you think that's kind of a shot to the gut for the rest of the team when they see the best player not come in and make that decision? Now, granted, let's be fair. If he's out doing something, doing work somewhere else or whatever it is, a charity work, I have no idea. But just what do you think?
Well, I guess the first question I have is, I don't think he's ever come to a voluntary workout, has he? Like, I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember what he's done last year and the year before.
If he has, it was years ago.
Yeah, so this is not out of the norm for him. It's not like he's making a statement.
Right, exactly.
I've shown up my first 8 years, and this year I'm not going to.
Exactly. Good point.
So I think we would rather see him come and be like, I'm all in. let's, we just lost our defensive coordinator. Let's start working to get this, fixed. I think we would rather have that. That being said, him not showing up, I don't think is a huge deal, and they'll get over it, and be just fine without him.
And now, according to Mike, not since his rookie year.
Okay. So
I believe
rookie
it.
year, I think he was required, wasn't he?
Yeah. Mike said he believes that's what he saw, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's correct. Regardless, I think it would be great if he was there. And again, we talked a little bit about Todd Monken, and he didn't throw anybody under the bus, but he also made his feelings known in terms of how he sees it. He's saying, hey, it's voluntary, but as myself, as a competitor, I want to be here. I want to be around the team. I want to be with these guys, blah, blah, so on and so forth. He's setting a standard. He's setting a precedent. So without calling anybody out by name, because of course we don't know who else is or isn't there. That was the biggest name to be discussed other than quarterbacks, And apparently they are all there. Voluntary workout. Yes.
Are you saying Monken is trying to be smart, tough, and accountable?
He might just be smart, tough, and accountable. Although we're going to have to hold him accountable for not being at that photo session. And he's funny too. He's getting asked these questions and he's coming up with some good answers. Just, he doesn't mind the banter. He doesn't mind the banter, and he can let loose a little bit, maybe a little bit, sometimes a bit more than you'd like to hear, but it is so refreshing after what we listened to for 6 seasons with Kevin Stefanski and the just non-answers and using the terminology that others have used, the word salad that he provides. Wait a second. What is this? I think he just took the words right out of my mouth. This is what we're talking about.
We're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
You are
practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
How silly is that? He's right. What an opportunity. I can't believe I missed that. I'm so glad that I caught.
Even though you got somebody backing you up there.
I know. Now, what I'm wondering is, this person is a Spurs, Steelers, Pirates, and Pens. Well, I know all the Pennsylvania places. I assume he means San Antonio Spurs. Unless he's a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and in that case, we're good. He'll have to clarify if he is or not. Apparently Dylan Gabriel didn't go missing. He did show up. He has been forgotten. He is not being mentioned by anybody.
Don't worry, he will play next year at some point. Both our quarterbacks, they'll get hurt. How many times have we not played 3 quarterbacks in a season?
Well, yeah, last year we did play 3. Flacco, not because of injury. We decided to let him go on, and that was fine. And then Gabriel plays, he gets injured, and then Sanders. So I think we did well to only play 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, right.
That's a good season.
Yeah,
that's a good season right there. I like. Let's see. So he is a San Antonio Spurs fan. So we kicked LeBron down in 2005. A Steeler kicked LeBron. How'd you kick LeBron down in 2005? That wasn't
Spurs.
That wasn't in 05. That was 07.
07. Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely 07. Anyway, I digress. Much will be determined. I can't wait for the draft to be over. As Mike from the UK pointed out here, it'll be 2 more weeks until the mock draft nonsense is over. I know last year Jacob, my son, he came on and did some mock drafts, which is all good. I think that what we really should have done is we should have mocked the draft.
Yeah.
And we could have had like the worst picks ever and the most ridiculous picks. They're picking a punter first overall pick. The backup water boy is the second, something along those lines. Just the most crazy, ridiculous things that you could possibly think of. But yes, okay, yes, thank you. Yes, it was 2007. You did kick LeBron's butt, but again, look at the team that he had. That was an achievement to get there.
Yeah.
He was dragging the rest of those guys with him, and that was Timmy. We were still playing Timmy, Manu, and Tony Parker. Tony. That was a hell of a Spurs team. Hell of a Spurs team. So with that being said, I think we've talked about a lot. One more thing that I forgot about. Did you see what happened in Akron?
Please elaborate.
John Gross.
Oh, yes.
Goes to College of Charleston.
Mm-hmm. Good riddance.
Yeah, and then they bring in a did they bring in one of the Fords?
Yeah, it was an assistant. Akron assistant this year. They promoted him.
Was that Dustin Ford? Or
I think so. I think you're right, Dustin Ford.
Because
right.
I mean, and that's an Ohio U stronghold family. The Kent State had Geno Ford, and he was pretty successful at Kent State. But I'm grateful that John Gross is gone. But now what you're seeing is some of the success that Akron and Miami had with players entering the transfer portal, which is a little bit. It kind of stinks. I'm glad for them if they can go somewhere bigger and better. It just stinks because you can't build up the program and maintain those guys. We talked about as we were getting toward March Madness, just what we experienced watching our school, watching Kent State, the fact that the run we made was with all those upperclassmen between Shaw, Huffman, Mitchell, Thomas, and then you throw in Gates and Nate Gerwig, but that team had all those seniors. It was so great to see, and it kind of stinks that you see that all these players transferring.
And did you see too that it looks like the NCAA is going to expand the tournament either next year or the year after to 76? Yeah,
okay. I believe 76. So you'll have more teams that'll play that first whatever. And I don't get it because most teams are not going to make any noise. Obviously, Texas coming out as an 11 seed, they did all right. They made some noise, but I don't know. What is this? Just to sign a bunch of 6'8" guys who can shoot. That's how you win, apparently. Yeah, apparently so. So I didn't want to forget that. I was like, oh, I got to mention this to Mike. This will be great here. So that's good stuff. Well, Mike, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. You've definitely covered a lot of ground. I would like to know, Mike, what has you going nuclear this week?
So we touched on it earlier about the tanking in the NBA, and the only reason I bring this up is because we're doing this on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday because me and Alex got 2 free tickets to go see the Wizards game on Tuesday. We're like, okay, why not? Free tickets, that sounds fun. They're playing the Bulls, 2 awful teams.
Yes.
We go to the stadium. It's maybe a third full.
I think it was a third full when we saw the Cavs there.
Yeah, it was bad. At one point, the Wizards were down by 40 points to the Bulls. We were wondering if they were even going to crack 80 points because they only had like 60 going into the fourth quarter, which is at which point we left because it wasn't a lot of fun. So tanking is a real thing. That it was awful basketball to watch, and the NBA has to figure out how to deal with it. The draft lottery, I think they established that way back when to help with tanking way back when. But teams have now figured out that it's still, even with this lottery system, it doesn't prevent tanking anymore. So they need to figure out a way to deal with that because even with free tickets, that was not a great game to watch.
No, it wasn't worth the price of the concessions, I bet, either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you make sure that nobody threw away their cup?
We both took our cups home with the drinks, so we're good. Alex made sure of that.
That is a victory right there. Okay, Mike had something interesting about 76 teams and regular season games increased to 32. I like that. I do like that. Although what's going to happen is all the records are going to get broken in college basketball because players are playing more playing. No, I don't know. I'm just messing, of course. But wow, yeah, tanking needs to be fixed. It absolutely something is not right with that. I think relegation.
I would love that. Have relegation. Have 2 leagues.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. Well, earlier tonight, I have many things that always have me going nuclear. I could always complain and yell and scream and rant and rave about my work. But I'll save that one for, another time. But technology, StreamYard, I'm talking to you. StreamYard, you have me going nuclear. What on earth is wrong with this stinking platform that suddenly a person's sound will go out? They can't hear me. I can't hear them. We're going all over. Someone leaving the stage should not cause this. You guys charge enough money. Get it right. Get it right. How hard is it for programs and technology and software to function in the way they are supposed to work? It's not that difficult. That's your whole point. You have a product. Make it work. Get it right. StreamYard, you have me going nuclear tonight.
Amen to that.
So with that, I think that's going to do it here for tonight. Mike, as always, appreciate it. Good times. Thank you for everyone who commented. Of course, really appreciate Mike in the UK and Drew Hagenbaugh and so many people also commenting along the way here tonight. Thank you to Carter for hopping in tonight. And once again, thanks to Paulie Campione for letting us be a part of Collected and Connected. So for Mike Rasinski, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you've been tuned in to Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the land.